Hey folks, this clip is brought to you by Omaha Steaks. Type in keyword Vols in the search bar at omahasteaks.com and order Dad's favorite gift package for Father's Day today. That is keyword Vols, Omaha Steaks. And so here we are. They've made it to the Super Regional, and here's the story to talk about today. It was up in the air as to who was going to host the Super Regional because both teams won on the road. Southern Miss went to Auburn and won the Auburn Regional, and then Tennessee won the Clemson Regional. And so from the beginning, the college baseball media, it was like they knew Southern Miss was going to get this nod for the Super Regional. And obviously, I don't know if you'll find anybody more cynical about the NCAA than me. I think it's a trash organization that should be disbanded in its entirety. It does nothing good for anyone. It doesn't help any student athlete ever. It's trash. And here you go. Here's another example. There's a bunch of people on this committee with a bunch of conflicting interests. I couldn't tell what was true or not, so I'm not going to make any assertions here. I saw a bunch of different things, but it seemed like there was conflicting interest here. And then Southern Miss gets the nod for the Super Regional in a small town in Mississippi that has only in its entire history hosted one Super Regional. Knoxville is, I looked, the city singularly, not the metro area. The city is 4 times larger. Knoxville is. And it's not like Knoxville is some massive, massive metropolis. It's just Hattiesburg, Mississippi. And then you go from there and you go better RPI, better strength of schedule, better league. Didn't lose a game in the regional for Tennessee. And somehow Southern Miss gets this nod. And please, somebody explain it to me. Maybe a little bit of transparency, something. At least with like the college football playoff committee, they make some idiot go out there and have to explain themselves. They get excoriated by the people on ESPN. But here there's just nothing. And so Tennessee doesn't get to host this Super Regional. And not that I necessarily want to dwell on that much, but it's just what happens. I don't know if you had any thoughts about it, Zach.
I mean, we were texting about it this morning, and you texted. I wasn't sure what time the announcement was, and later found out it was at 10 a.m. Eastern. And you texted at what, like 8:30. You're like, "Do you want to talk about Tennessee getting screwed out of hosting the Super Regional this season?"
You knew
tonight.
You knew it was going to happen.
I was like, "Has it already been announced?" You're like, "No, but that's going to happen." And
it's Tennessee.
You were right. It was. I don't know. I don't get it because they both have 18 losses. Tennessee's actually played, good teams, SEC and SEC schedule. I mean, some of the best teams in the nation. They've played LSU, they've played Florida, they've played all these teams. Southern Miss, they lost to Ole Miss. They lost to Alabama, maybe I think during the regular season. I mean, they lost to the good teams that they played. They did beat Auburn in the regional, but outside of that, they didn't play this super tough schedule. They didn't play the SEC competition that Tennessee did. I don't get it. The stadiums are similar. They both hold around 4,300 people. I'm not familiar with the Southern Miss Stadium, but I would assume that Tennessee's is a little nicer, even with upgrades coming in the near future. You see the way that it looks on television when you have a wild, rowdy Tennessee crowd. I mean, people love it. It comes through on television. The atmosphere, the vibe that's there at Lindsey Nelson comes through when you're watching those games. And I know Tennessee fans will travel, but the tickets are limited. The allotment was set at 600. You're going to have to go to secondary market. The ticket prices are going to be jacked up because Tennessee fans will pay it and they'll find a way to get down there. It just seems like a really bad overall decision by the NCAA. If you're trying to push the sport forward and get more eyes on it, yeah, people are going to watch it, but it's going to be a different vibe down there than it would be in Knoxville. There's just no way around it. I mean, we've watched these games, and I'm sure it'll be a good atmosphere. I'm not saying it'll be terrible, but it won't be the same as it was at Tennessee or would be at Tennessee.
No. And Southern Miss themselves basically announced they have a season ticket allotment. They sold out their season tickets, so no tickets will be available for opposing fans, which I didn't even know. How was that allowed, first of all?
I thought they were I think there's 600 that they have to allot. I think that's every okay. Super Regional because I know Wake Forest had to do that for Alabama. It was 600 tickets for them, and I'm pretty sure I saw 600 for Tennessee that Southern Miss has to. I think that's like the bare minimum, which is what most places would do.
Yeah. So there is that bare minimum, but that's all it's going to be.
Which is, that's not a lot.
No. Southern Miss fans, yeah, they were bragging. We have a bigger stadium, bigger stadium. Well, it's because they don't. It's because they add supplemental seats in the postseason. All right, here's the truth. Dads want steak. When you give dad perfectly aged and oh so tender steaks, you're not just giving him the best meal of his life, but you're giving him the chance to grill up these steaks and share the moment with you. For a limited time, when you go to omahasteaks.com and enter the keyword Vols, that is VOLS, into the search bar, you'll be able to order the dad's favorite gift package for only $99.99. Plus, you will get 8 free Omaha Steaks burgers. I have had these. They are incredible. Make sure you get them. These burgers taste like a steak on a bun, ultra lean, and they pack a bold, intense, beefy flavor. Save 60% on dad's favorite grill pack, and you will get 4 bacon wrapped filet mignons, 4 premium air chilled chicken breasts, 4 boneless pork chops, 4 gourmet jumbo franks, 4 made from scratch caramel tartlets, and an Omaha Steak seasoning pack, and those 8 free burgers for $99.99. Are you kidding me? A ridiculously great deal. Remember, gifting is easy. Dads want steak, and Omaha Steaks isn't just steak, it's the best steak of your life, guaranteed. Don't wait. Go to omahasteaks.com and type Vols, VOLS, into the search bar and order dad's favorite gift package for Father's Day today. omahasteaks.com, keyword Vols. That's what makes it bigger. I found this out. I was like, oh, come on. Give me a break here. Somebody. The whole thing is just stupid. And we all know it, and Southern Miss knows it. And it's just, I mean, give me a break. The NCAA just hates Tennessee. Here we are. We knew this. And yeah, so that's that. I mean, especially with Tony Vitello, after all the antics of the last couple of years, you just knew that this was gonna happen. They don't want Tennessee. They changed the rules because of Tennessee. If you remember the on the field props, they actually didn't a kid during this regional round, a kid got tossed out of a game because they brought a home run chain onto the field, just onto the field. Like you hit a home run. Here's a home run chain to go over your neck, toss out of the game. They changed the rules of baseball because of Tennessee.
It's so silly. I mean, you've seen this stuff that they've been doing this in college baseball for a while now, and you're seeing it trend up to the Major League Baseball level. I mean, I've seen Viking helmets, I've seen football helmets, I've seen all kinds of random things that MLB teams have in the dugout after a home run. I mean, they're taking elements of the college game with them, and then the NCAA is like, nope, people like that. Let's not have that. We just can't have that. It's just as usual, the NCAA doing dumb things that make no sense just because they can.
And they go in the dugout and just do it there. They do it 5 steps from where they would have otherwise. It's so stupid. But a couple of good points here in the comments. Reynolds says they know that Southern Miss won't travel, and the NCAA knows we will and pay more. That could definitely be a part of it.
But who cares? I mean, you're going to sell it out anyway in Knoxville. Why should the NCAA care who is in the stands? I mean, I don't think. Go ahead.
Well, Pat Rose, his thought was Southern Miss's coach is retiring after.
We did talk before
it was.
Yeah, he'd been there since like 2000 or 2001 as an assistant. Been the head coach since 2010. So it's almost a quarter century he spent in Hattiesburg. I'm sure he's ready to get out.
And it's stuff like that where I really look and you go, okay, there's the corruption. There it is. There's, outside of, I think we all know they hate Tennessee. That's definitely part of it. But the coach retiring. They're going to go, oh, let him, if they lose, let him have the last series will be at home. And if it's not, it'll be at the College World Series. I'm sure it's some nonsense like that. I bet he knows every single person on that committee, and he's probably shook every hand, kissed every baby. And then, there's your corruption right there, on top of the fact that they hate Tony Vitello. But
hey, maybe it'll be a good thing overall for Tennessee. I mean, they hosted the Super Regional last year. It did not work out. So,
yeah. And that's what I've seen people say. It's going to put a chip on Tennessee's shoulder. I hope so. It better put a chip on Tennessee's shoulder. Because, Southern Miss, they made it out of their regional. They're a pretty good baseball team.